wife doesn't want to take my name, and that irks me.
No.
Yes.
I want to take your name.
You don't want
I just
to.
want to take mine as well. I'm not saying, no, because otherwise then I just wouldn't change my name. I'm saying I want to put mine there, but Kelly Payne. I've grown up with the name my whole life. I like it. I want to keep it.
No. I just believe that that's how it should be done.
Olivia Atwood-Dack. She's
Again, this is your one example. All you do is repeat this name. I don't care.
Relationship done.
I just don't feel like it's a big deal.
That's the conditions. The conditions are, if you want to be my wife, then you be my wife.
I will. That's why it's in my name.
But you're half being my wife. You're bottling it. That's what it is.
Where to begin? I've spoken about taking names before. I just can't understand how that's a big deal to not want to. I just can't conceptualize that being an issue at all, really. She wants to double barrel it. Not she wants to keep her name. Not the kids have to have a name. She wants to double barrel her surname. And that's what's got him mad. You keep saying, Olivia, that's the only example you have. Why are you shouting? That's actually insane. Look, these are the red flags we're talking about. It's not like something impossible to notice. This is what I'm talking about. I know it's just one argument, but it's just, if you're arguing about that, when it gets to the real nitty gritty stuff, what are you going to do? You're going to just collapse, or you're going to combust. And the reason he's so comfortable saying, if you want to be my wife, is because we've made it such a big deal to be chosen by this man. The way men hold marriage over women's heads is yuck. It's so nasty, and that's why they're so comfortable making demands like this. Do you know how many men there are? Do you know how many men want to marry you? How many male friends would just snap you up in a second? I want us as a gender to get to a place where if a man says, if you don't do this, I won't marry you, you won't be my wife, we can say, okay, we're not getting married. I want us to get to that place where you can just walk away. And there's no point saying too much because, like clockwork, when you start attacking men, the women get all... I'm not trying to call your man whatever. I just think it's a weird thing to argue about personally. That's what I think. I'm sure he's great. One more thing. He clearly said he won't marry her if she doesn't change her name to his name solely. She said she won't. Why are they still together then? Why hasn't he broken up with her? Because why would you find a woman who is exactly what you want when you can just break another woman down until she becomes someone that you want? Isn't that so much better?
The reason why they will get divorced if they get married is that she has never had to care about what men want in general. She does not know what is important to men. And therefore, she will never care about what is important to a man. Or her man. Thus, they will always have a one-sided relationship, which will be all about her and what she wants. And when he starts making too many demands regarding what he wants, then it will be time for her to get a divorce and take half of everything. Divorce gives way too much power in a marriage to a selfish woman. Plus, she believes that she can always get another man who has just as much money. And this she does not truly appreciate her current man, who is worth millions. Whether she gets married or does not, in her mind, in her brain, no matter what happens, she wins. The bigger issue is how do we men fall for these types of women and why do we marry them? It can be explained in one word. Lifeboat. When you are on a sinking ship, they always say, save the women and children first. Men are raised to be self-sacrificing, and women are raised to receive our sacrifice. The problem is that when we men are young, we do not know or recognize which women are worthy to receive our sacrifice. When men are younger, we are more trusting and have more tolerance towards bad behavior, thinking that it will all work itself out. And many women do not value our sacrifice, and are only willing to work things out when it benefits them or does not inconvenience them. The last thing he should do is marry this woman. The biggest problem with these types of women is that they never change. They always blame the man. For example, all of my aunts are in their late 70s and early 80s. They have a friend named Wanda who used to babysit me when I was 5. Plus, they have all been single mothers since the 70s and 80s. Anyway, last year, at a Christmas party, one of them mentioned that I was going to Asia, and Wanda said that her brother lives in the Philippines with his Filipino wife. But Wanda was quick to add that the woman is more like his caretaker. A caretaker who married him and has lived with him for the last 14 years. Remember, these women are in their late 70s and early 80s, which means that they have always thought this way. And has taught 2 generations of women, their daughters and granddaughters, to also think this way. And this is why when their uncles and male cousins tell these girls that the way they think and behave is wrong and will result in bad relationships, we are ignored. So basically, Wanda had to belittle their relationship to make themselves feel better. Like, no man wants us, and no woman really wants you either. Like how they put down the Passport brothers. They keep saying that the women overseas are just using us. Women keep each other single. Women hit the wall not only because men prefer young women with no children, or just younger women in general. They also hit the wall because as men get older, we gain more knowledge and experience when it comes to women and relationships. It is not that men become less trusting, but our tolerance towards bad behavior diminishes greatly. It is not about us recognizing red flags. It is about us saying that we cannot put up with this shit. And because of it, we simply just walk away. Or what women call ghosting, or that men have a Peter Pan mentality. That men do not want to grow up. Now, here is the truth. Many men will say that we do not want to date or marry a woman with kids. But many of us older men in the United States, Canada and Europe do date women with children. It is hard to find a woman who is over 30 without kids. So many of us men are willing to take a look. But what we discovered that comes with it are a lot of issues, problems, drama and headaches. Women who are more compatible with the pookies, the ray-rays, scammers, and bullshitters. Not only do they treat these types of men with more consideration and admiration, but they also look down on you. They think you are the dumbass. And they are kind of right. Deep down they know they are no good. Why would a good man want them, unless there is something wrong with him? The problem is that we men think that they will appreciate having a good man. A better man. Or like the woman in the video. It will always be about her. You as a man, should always be about me. They will always act like they do not understand or why it is such a big deal. But in reality, they are just trying to be manipulative. So, the older a man gets, the less options he has when it comes to finding a good woman who he is attracted to around his age. Because men want sex. We tolerate the older ones as long as we can, but we look to marry the younger ones. Now, when you are in love with someone, it is about giving of yourself. It is about thinking about how you can make her happy. Thus, a form of self-sacrificing. Therefore, men know how to love. Men fall in love. I have dated a few girls who believed there was something wrong with themselves when they started doing nice things for me. They said that they started feeling trapped or scared. So now you know what they mean when they say they feel trapped or scared. They are very selfish people who are not used to thinking about anyone but themselves first. I also noticed that these women equate emotional hurt and pain, and sadness, to embarrassment and disappointment. So, one of the reasons why some women have a need to be right is because it is embarrassing when they are not. This tells me that these women do not know how to love. Because love is a form of self-sacrifice. And because men are raised to be self-sacrificing, and women are raised to receive our sacrifice. This is understandable. This also means that unless it becomes trendy, women in general will never ask a man to marry them. They need to be able to tell other women all the stuff he did to propose. You know, in an expensive restaurant. Under the moonlight with romantic music playing in the background. So unless these women find a simp, they will never get married. But everyone has a breaking point, which is why they divorce men who were once a simp. Believe me, these types of women are nothing but a lot of headaches, drama and problems. Low quality.